volunteers, just say the word. A dab hand when it comes to the old fisticuffs.
Of course.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled, bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip round the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power. And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
And now she's missing. If she's fallen into the hands of the Empire, we could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
It's not that I don't trust Cole to do his bit, you understand? It's that I don't trust the Empire.
Martha is a survivor. We'll find her.
Clive, Sid. Cole and his men left earlier. I can have another party ready, if you deem it necessary.
Have you finished sorting those reports yet?
Finished? I ain't started. Been busy enough with my own work.
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
Here for another of my lectures. Going so soon? Clive, is everything all right?
I am a tinker by trade.
Well, I should be getting back to it. Unless you'd rather...
Have we any more knuckle pies?
Oh, sadly not. Molly used the last of the chocobo in the stew.
Does that one have blood on it?
Welcome back, Sid.
Oh, you're not leaving already, are you? And what can I do for you? Finished, are you?
Look, Sid. Squeaks wants to meet you. I can't keep him, can I? Can't I?
This plank will have to be
Nearly
replaced.
half the crates were lost to bandits.
But half weren't, and their contents will see us through the season.
Charlie says I can't go
Sid.
play until I
We were
finish
just
my
about to
songs.
start our next lesson.
Can't catch a wink with all the clamour in the hall.
Did I put that sucker?
That they bloomed at all is a blessing in itself.
Much was lost when the first hideaway fell.
It's not the
Won't be long now, Martel. Try your apple soon enough.
This tongue here pulls the black from the nature and renders it.
Again! I seen schoolboys sweat harder.
Finish with that log so we can call it a morning.
Almost done.
Welcome back, Sid.
Damn blighted bilge.
Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull, everything's roses.
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we do in the atrium, that slurry'll keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts. Suppose a coat of pitch might stave off the rock for a moon or so, assuming we had any pitch, which we don't. Not any bloody more. Doubt the old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
Of course, Obolus. Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland. Without it, we'd be lost.
Well, I'm glad someone round here sees it that way. To make pitch, you need pitch trees. But in case you haven't noticed, live trees are one of the 1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands. Now, I'm not so unkind as to ask you to fell a faraway forest and lug the logs back here to the mere, which is why we'll be needing a suitable alternative. And it just so happens I once heard the thorny pitchers of Curltail Falls cover themselves in a sticky wax to trap birds and beetles and whatnot. Might be enough to tide me over.
Sounds easier than felling a faraway forest. That's for certain.
Never been to Curltail Falls myself. Never seen a curl. For that matter.
felling a forest, I said. Trees don't have teeth. I can't imagine Obelisk needing any more than this. Time to head home.
Finish with that log.
Welcome back, Sid.
Well, did you find me some wax?
Find is one way of putting it.
Ugh! Reeks like a chocobo's arse. Well, I don't suppose the Argo will mind as long as he stays above the waves.
Argo? So your boat has a name? I didn't know.
Yeah. Same as my old man. He was a ferryman himself back before the Blight came. The boat's all I have left of him. And thanks to you, he'll sail another day. Yeah, Sid. How is it I never see you on the ferry? Ah, forget I asked.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
I'm sorry, Sid. We were too late. The Imperials have already left. I'm sorry, Sid. We were too late. The Imperials have already left.
What was all the screaming and shouting, Mummy?
I told you to stay inside.
Are any of you hurt?
No, they didn't come this way, thank the Founder.
They've killed my bearer. I demand recompense.
Oi, look sharp!
Hey? What?
Good to see you, Sid. The soldiers who did this are long gone, I'm afraid. We're doing what we can to treat the wounded.
What are you after? Much obliged. Fare thee well.
We're best off staying where we are for now, I reckon. The boys from the garrison might still be nearby.
Founder. I'd rather not bump into them again.
Let's get you to a physical, shall we?
I'm sorry. Oh, I think I twisted something.
Sid? What said you'd be coming? I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help. And it appears he was right.
You, could say that, yes. They're saying the Imperials descended like a storm. No one was spared their fury. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her were a pair of iron shackles and a hard march.
Any idea where?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise Bay.
To the Abbey sheltering Martha's bearers.
The bastards. Jill and I will go after them. You take care of the people here.
We will. But, before you go, one of the locals heard something. He said the soldiers were talking about a culling. I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good. Be careful out there, Sid.
You do the same.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling? Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
Hold still. You're making it worse.
What in the world is
Lads
going
from
on?
the garrison all poured in, sword swinging. and took Martha away with them.
This culling business. You don't think the Empire means to rid the land of bearers?
Fucking Imperials. If they hurt Martha, they'll have the old rest to answer to.
Soldiers from the garrison just stormed in unannounced and started smashing up the place.
Imperials. If they hurt Martha, they'll have the rest.
They've killed my bearer. I demand recompense.
Are any of you hurt?
No, they didn't come this way.
If those horses touch the hair on Martha's head, I'll kill them all myself.
Look. Up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields?
The bastards caught wind. The Abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the sick rose from their beds, poor souls turned on the Imperials. Distracted them long enough for me to get away.
Then, they may still be alive. Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn? Cole is there with the other curse breakers.
I think so. Thank you, Clive.
Black Shields? Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
It seems a step too far, even for the Empire.
Garuda!
we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offense.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long. Is that all of them?
I think so. I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive. The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him. Calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
If only that were true. Black Shields will return. The cullings will continue. Rosaria will never be saved unless we save her. Tell Martha to beg Sid's aid and tell her this wasn't her fault.
I shall.
Sid! Where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive? He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest. But the bearers... they didn't need to die like this.
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms, fighting for those who fought for them.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves at the Imperials so she and the abbot could escape.
I've gathered the bearers' remains. We should consign them to the tide.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. Radix jump. The currents there are swift. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the casting. I'll get someone to...
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the Imperials.
The fork to the drawbridge is back the way we came. It's where the abbot would have gone himself, had he not.
The Imperials of old would never have stooped so low as to defile a house of Greeka, nor slaughter a man of faith in cold blood. May their goddess...
Do you think it's spotted us, Torgal? What am I saying? Of course it has. It's a floating eyeball. No turning back. Didn't see that coming. Too slow. Didn't see that coming. That must be the bridge. So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. We should go back. Cole is worried about Martha.
All right.
We've been speaking with the Blood X's about how best to protect the village.
Try not to move. You'll only make it worse.
I know. It's Martha who needs your attention.
Soldiers from the garrison just stormed in unannounced and started smashing up the place. We've been speaking with the Blood X's about how best to protect the village. We won't let this happen again.
What was all the screaming and shouting, Mummy?
I told you to stay.
This lot are yours, I take it. Well, we're very grateful for their help.
Are any of you hurt?
No, they didn't.
They've killed my bearer. I demand recompense.
Boy, look sharp.
Oh. I'm glad Martha's safe. Both for her sake and the town's. This place wouldn't be the same without her.
Thank you, Founder. Thank you, Phoenix.
Glad Martha's safe. Both for her sake and the town's.
We'll return to the hideaway as soon as we've finished our ministrations.
Martha's a stout soul, all right. Anyone else would be out cold after what she's been through.
It's not fair, Sid. That shouldn't be the only choice. The only way to be free of all this.
What in the world is going on? No one survived then?
I'm sorry. Before he passed, one of them bade me tell you not to blame yourself.
Doesn't mean I won't. Doesn't mean their blood's not on my hands. Cole said you cast their remains. That was good of you. But it should have been me. This was all my fault.
How? You couldn't have known.
But I did. And I turned a deaf ear to the warnings like the fool I am. The rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages in the dead of night to slit the throats of sleeping bearers. But I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to a fugitive bearer.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. What these Black Shields are doing is unthinkable. Which begs the question, why do it at all? My mother obviously has a hand in this. I cannot make sense of her actions.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. Right now, I need swords and men to wield them, preferably big ones. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and threaten my people, they're in for a rude awakening. Oh, before I forget, a Stolas from Otto landed just before you arrived. He asked me to tell you that Gav has returned.
Then we must as well. Will you be all right here, Martha?
We can stay longer if you wish.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling. Though I wouldn't turn my nose up if you were to lend me a pair of them strapping young curse breakers. Those poor souls died to give me a chance to save others. I won't let their sacrifice be in vain.
Arthur's a stout soul, or...
If you don't mind, Sid. I'd like to stay here with Martha. Just until she finds someone to guard the rest, that is.
We'll return to the hideaway as soon as we've finished our administration.
Thanks for heeding the call. If only we got here sooner. We'll do what we can to help the injured, though. Try not to move. You'll only make it worse.
Oi! You there! Don't just pass me by! You handy with that sword of yours? Course you are. Bet you're a bloody marvel with the thing. Now, question is, are you willing to use it or not? 'Cause a flock of noble chocobos are in need of help.
Chocobos?
You heard me right. Wild birds? Hmm? The big ones? And not just any chocobos at that. Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest birds you ever did see. They protect travelers round these parts from bandits and the like.
Chocobos? Fighting bandits?
It's true. Why, they saved me from a gang of footpads only yesterday. Nasty lot they were too. And now, they're back, looking to settle the score. Oh, go on then. Don't just stand there. Go and help them.
All right.
There's was a good lad.
Where can I find these chocobos?
I saw him cut across the way over yonder. The rotten scoundrels were driving the poor things towards the old dock. It's a dead end, that is. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear me? There ain't a pluckier bird in all the world. She's a hero to us locals. And don't worry, you'll know her when you see her right enough.
I'm sure I will.
And good luck to you. And give those no-good bastards a hiding from me. Whiteheart is the pride of Rosaria. You mustn't let those...
Whiteheart. That's quite a name for a chocobo. A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind. Speaking of brave birds. Looks like they went that way. These chocobos aren't going down without a fight. They're in trouble.
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last of us, did you? You've been bad for business. But I reckon someone will pay good coin to mount your head on their wall.
Not around here, they won't.
Oh. And why's that, eh?
Because she's something of a hero in these parts. You hurt her, and I hurt you.
Piss off. Or better still, how about we hurt you both?
All right then. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Help me, boy.
You're safe now. White Heart, I presume. Do you know her, boy? That scar. It couldn't be. Ambrosia. It is you. You survived. And you found yourself a flock.
Oi! Is it over? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, you sorted the bastards then. I knew you would. And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully, they did. And not only that.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped to think our hero here might once have been someone's mount. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Kind-hearted warrior that you are. Bird like her would have cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry. Don't matter who you are. You done right by me.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon. told you. And it seems our pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Well, bugger me if this ain't a heartwarming sight. The lads down the stables will be hearing about this tonight. Oh, stay right where you are. Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
Ah, a few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old Whiteheart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her right to happiness and more besides. Don't you worry, we'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, Whiteheart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now. You seem awful familiar now I get a proper look at you. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you? No. No, that can't be right. That fellow was a bearer.
Must have been my double.
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Pay me no mind. Anyhow, best be on my way. Good luck to the both of you.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Straight home now.
We've been speaking with the Blood Axes about how best to protect them.
Staying where we are for now, I reckon.
Arthur's a stout soul, all right. Anyone else would be out cold after what she's been through.
What world is going on?
How have you been?
Most folk round here. So I told him everything. Reckon they'd spare you? This town is... A lot's changed since East Pool. And it ain't just the bearers. You off then?
We'll return to the hideaway as soon as we've finished our administrations.
Anything catch your eye?
Take care out there, eh?
Oi, look sharp! I'm glad Martha's safe. Both for her sake and the town's.
There's talk that the Glassgate flood has finally spread.
Slavers don't even bother with Northreach now that all the highway fled south.
Look at this place. We spent half a day getting here, and for what? Some rotting fish and a few moth-eaten rugs.
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled. I won't have you spoiling another catch.
Do you see anything you like? Come back again.
How the hell is anyone supposed to afford that price?
All anyone ever wants anymore is water grape. How am I supposed to make a living?
Fresh cuts! Come and get them before they're gone.
Up! You'll not find a bruised pippin in the bushel.
The granaries are almost empty. If you're looking to partake in the Meadows bounty, now might be your last chance.
Citizens are free to come and go as they please. Checkpoint's open to all.
Did you hear? The gates to Heaven Hall in the area were breached by someone. Or something. The steward was in town earlier looking for men to come and repair it. But no one was keen to help.
I want to see you again tonight. But the captain's late with our pay.
It's all right. I'll be waiting.
Time was there were great coin sacks swinging from every belt in town. Not anymore. Since the capital moved, they're all shriveled to the size of peas.
Seeing as business is scarce these days, the Dame decided we should all learn to read. I only wish she had some smaller books. My arms ache something fierce. What am I going to do without sweet water and olive talc?
Still no caravan from the Dominion's perfumeries yet, then?
How can the Veil serve you today?
The realm may have changed. I will admit, I fancy yours, meanwhile. Before there was a North Reach. But alas. Not everyone left the capital. In a few short moons, the Veil does what it can. Be sure to give my regards to Otto, won't you?
What's the point in patrolling? The bands have all followed the coin to Twinside.
You want a spot on the Dominion walls? You'll need to do better than that!
Sent to the capital for a new bearer weeks ago, but I haven't heard a word since.
It's almost as if they've forgotten us here.
So the gold owed its luster to the grave.
We should find a caravan south. Look, there's still time.
How much longer do we have to be here? We should be in the Dominion, fighting and drinking and... well...
Have you not heard? The capital has been abandoned. There's naught left here for anyone but ghosts. Have you not heard? The capital has been abandoned. There's naught left here for anyone but ghosts.
Did you hear? The gates to Heaven Hall in the area were breached by someone. Or something.
I want that forge as hot as a demon's arsehole, or you're all getting new brands.
Good day to you.
But when can I go on a special errand for Master Quincy?
It's all but spent. What do we do now?
The crystals we get from the tail are all but worthless. It's not just the crystals. If you ever need a room, Sid, just say the word. I'll have a bed made up like you. And that goes for your friends too.
Barrels.
If too many barrels is your problem, I reckon I could lend a hand.
Good to see you, Sid, as always. Master Quinn.
How might I help you, Sid? Lest you wonder... Yes. If you must know.
Hello, Sid.
However...
Take a seat where you like.
Regrettably... Then I bid you good day.
Hey! Are you...
Where's Gav?
Gav should be back by now.
If you're worried about our supplies, we've plenty. Karen's seen to that. Oh, we're always one missed shipment away from disaster.
As ragged as goat's locks.
I hear there's trouble in Rosaria.
Think it's all right to touch him?
I don't know. You go first.
Back, are ya? So, what'll it be? And?
Chocobo, Chocobo, why can't you fly? What good are your wings if you can't reach the sky? Flap harder, says Bluebird.
Did you come through the forge today? It smells like a still.
Those men didn't hurt Martha, did they?
And what can I do for you? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. Finished, are you?
If Martha's gonna get back on her feet, she'll need our help. Whether she wants it.
You look like you could do with a drink.
Don't be a stranger, Sid.
And you say Sid built this place?
Well, one can't really build what's been lying around for several thousand years. But it was his idea we claim it for our own.
Perhaps they're old enough for the sins of Zemeckis.
dress is simply fabulous.
In it, though? All the ladies in the Dominion are wearing them.
Go on. What's the matter, Sid? You look as pale as the day you're...
So, that's how Hugo Kupka was able to prime that night 5 years ago, despite there being no ether in the Deadlands. Says here that while conjuring magics requires a bearer to draw ether from the air around them, priming requires a dominant to draw it from their very self.
There was a time I only had eyes for Otto. But then I saw the light, and his name is Cole. That way he looks at you like a frightened fawn who's lost his mother. Oh, if only I could shoot an arrow through his heart.
They say removing a brand is almost as painful as getting one.
So Martha's all right.
Yep. Others weren't so lucky, though.
Have you finished sorting those reports?
Doesn't sound like anywhere is safe. Not that I'm planning a journey.
That room's as ragged as go.
So we can call it a morning.
Almost done.
Depending on who you ask, this lake was either formed when one of the fallen cities plummeted from the sky, or when a giant worm dug a lair for itself. My guilt is on the latter.
Gav should be back by now.
But none of the curse breakers have returned. They'll be fine. Sid wouldn't be here if they weren't.
Ah, Clive! Oh, I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the Mother Crystals. Four Mother Crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath, near Ironhome. Drake's Fang, in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine, in Waloed. And Drake's Tail, here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rosfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune. Along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Those men didn't hurt.
How much water can a flower drink?
About as much as a
This tongue here comes with black from the maple. They're invented. You'll have to ask me if...
Sid, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just... Well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and now the fruit's finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact. She bred the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems better them coming from you.
It'll be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go. Martel apples, they're called, in honor of her memory. You hear that, Martel? Today's finally the day. Martel would have wanted the curse breakers to be the first to try our apples. I'm sorry to put you to the trouble, Sid, but thanks.
Your uncle always seemed a kindly soul, if a little eccentric.
If you're worried about our supplies, we've plenty. Karen's seen to that.
So Martha's all right.
Doesn't sound like anywhere is safe. Not that I'm planning a journey.
Without a ship to carry her there, Drake's breath might as well be on the moon.
You two look like you could use something to eat. Here, courtesy of Martel.
Martel. Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the Furrows?
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
Aye, and brave as a bane mite. Remember when she ran back into the hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait.
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid. Them old apples were enough to curdle your guts. But these beauties are as sweet as you like.
I'll have to pay the boys down in the backyard a visit to tell them thanks.
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab them right from the branch, make Martel livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martels, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Can't remember the last time I had fresh fruit. Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
How are you doing? Oh, same old. So... Oh... And Sid? He's still with us too. Quick look. Think you can help?
Oh, Clive! Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friend's donations?
Oh no, that's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any? Business is busy. Still. Words are immortal. Is everything we've received and everything promised? Sorry, but you're not quite there yet. You earned this. All yours. All done?
What's the matter, Nectar? The hunt board? It's where the curse breakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know? Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war. The last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the curse breakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try. I don't think so.
That broom's as ragged as ghosts. I hear there's trouble in Brazil.
Think it's all right to touch him?
How much water can a flower drink? It's not deep.
The Cursebreakers sent their thanks. And their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martel.
They remembered her. After all these years. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martel. Why did you have to die? She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree. Martel lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think? Just look at her. Isn't Martel in fine fettle? And what about young Boppymill here? He's got some work to do if he wants to catch up with his brother Kenneth. Just look at her. Isn't Martel in fine fettle? And what about young Boppymill here? He's got some work to do if he wants to catch up with his brother Kenneth.